Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Big Says Conversations. Today, I have my homeboy Ronnie here. We know him as Chief Woods.
Right.
Most of you may know him as the Command Chief at Kadena Air Force Base.
Yes.
Man, welcome aboard, man. Thank you for being here,
Thank you.
Man, you know what, man? I want to start this conversation off with this weekend we got to chop it up a little bit, man. And man, you have no idea how great that felt, man. You know, to see a brother in your position and your influence as a regular human being. You know what I mean? Because some people say, well, you know, you see people that's up there right there and they say, oh man, well, I don't even want to talk to him.
Right.
You know, no, you're a regular brother just like everybody else, man.
Man, you know, I take a lot of pride in that. Like I really do. Like that relatability and being like a real person.
Yeah.
And just hanging out with y'all like was cool for me because like I told y'all on many occasions, being the 18th Wing Command Chief, everyone looks up to me, and I can be around people that I can look up to, and it was just a beautiful thing. I wish I would have did more of it when I was here.
Man, you did a lot. Let me tell you what, man, one of the things that my wife said to me recently, like, you know, because, you know, she just retired last year, last March, as a matter of fact, and she said, by far, from the time since we've been here, you've been the most active Command Chief that she's seen. So, and that says a lot, because, you know, she's analytical, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. But I remember even before that, man, I don't even know if you recall this. We was up at the Kadena High School, man. Your daughter and my daughter, they were both in some type of event. And we spoke, man. It's like, I didn't even know who you was. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, man, that's a good cat. And then my wife was like, you know, that's the Command Chief. I'm like, nah, it's a good brother, you know what I'm saying? He said, he real cool, you know? So, and we spoke and we chopped it up and we went on about our business, man. But my thing is, real recognize real.
Yeah.
So regardless of your rank or who you worked at that particular time, I just felt the vibe from you, like, oh, that's a cool cat. And then once you told me who you were, I was like, you know what? Before it's all said and done, because I hadn't even started the podcast yet. I said, once I get it all started, I'm definitely gonna have him on, man, because he seemed like good people.
Yeah, you know, so I get that a lot because of the way I dress. You know, I'm a little younger than people typically that's in the position I'm in. And then, you know, just I do love the art of humbleness. And I like when people say, I didn't know that you was you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the angle I was shooting for.
Man, let me tell you, boy, that just let me know whatever, and I didn't even know your story. Whatever it is, your steps have been guided, bro. Because everybody can't do what you do.
Yeah.
Trust me. I thought I was on the path to do that, but it just wasn't my calling. And my thing is, this is your calling, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing that you got it going on, man.
I love what I do. You know, I had an opportunity, like probably halfway through my career, where I could have went the officer route, or I could have probably got out, but my heart was always about developing and inspiring other people. That was where my heart has always been, developing, inspiring, and taking care of people. And the commander don't do that. The chief does that.
Facts.
So I've always done that. The only positive I could see was the financial side, which was a good thing. But like for me, like what my heart was at, it's just like, I'm doing what I love to do. A lot of people can't say they're doing their dream job. I'm doing my dream job right now, which is taking care of and inspiring people.
Man, and I love it, man. That's what this podcast is all about, man. So I know in amongst the many topics that we discussed the other night, man, one of the things was like, man, you were telling your story where you come from. I talked about where I came from. I think one of the other cats was sharing their story. I said, man, what is it about our mindset, right? That's, you know, we can be cut from the same cloth with our family members or certain friends that we grew up with. But, you know, like you mentioned, someone never left the state line.
No, never.
You know, but here we are. We traveling abroad, going back and forth like it's like everyday wayfare. You know what I mean? So I think just having a strong mindset is key in all of this, and that's one of the things that I talk about in my podcast.
Right.
I have an acronym called RAIN, and I think I mentioned this to you recognize your mindset, which is key, analyzing your mindset, implementing positive influence to influence your mindset, and nourishing that mindset. Once you put all those things together, you got to continue to nourish.
Right.
And
Brain, I like that. I like that.
So I put that together with the help of my wife to say that, you know, well, they be like, well, man, I don't know if I got a positive mindset or not, you know, but this acronym kind of helps you pull it all together, because everybody can remember rain. I tell them when I come on here, I'm gonna drop a little raindrop on, you know what I'm saying? So when you put all that together, you're like, okay, well, what do I need to do? How do I influence my mindset? And one of the things that I think we touched on is just surrounding yourself with positive people, man.
Gotta do that.
Man, we was sitting up there chopping it up. You know, you had 6, 7 brothers out there just talking about some good stuff. Finances, marriages, positive influence. That don't happen all the time, man. But I think, and when it does happen, it's in such small spots, small little gaps, that you like, man, when we having those little moments, we can always reflect back and say, man, so-and-so could have benefited from that conversation. I know a couple of cats that needed to hear that, you know. So I'm hoping in the, you know, development of this, that this word gets out, and we can reach out and touch more people. You know?
Oh, the word is definitely gonna get out. Like, the word is gonna get out, and I'm super inspired by it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here because I want to be here. Like, I am honored to be in the presence of someone that I've taken a liking to from the moment I talk to you, and be able to reach the young brothers out there. And really try to help them in a positive way. That's the only reason I'm still doing it.
Oh, man.
So we fighting the same fight, we fighting for the same things. And if I don't care if I just reach one person, like what we're talking about right now, it was worth it.
Man,
just with that one person.
Oh my goodness. With that being said, and this is a perfect caveat. This whole podcast is about motivating and inspiring, using stories to help reach people that may say, hey, I see myself in that. Is there a particular story that I already heard one of that you would like to share, man, that could positively touch someone who don't even know it?
So I'll just tell just a little synopsis of just my story. So I grew up in the inner city of Chicago. A lot of gangs, drugs, violence, prostitution, everything. Both of my parents had substance abuse issues, so I was the second oldest in my family. My mom was addicted to crack cocaine. My dad was an alcoholic. They were good people, though, if you know what I mean. They were good people that was just kind of a victim of their environment and circumstances. And for me, little scrawny kid growing up in the neighborhood, I was tough. I was tough, but I got bullied a lot. So my dad grabbed me by my coattails, put me in the wrestling room. I started wrestling, learned how to defend myself. Did that, went from there, took a liking to the United States Air Force, joined the Air Force, struggled big time in the beginning of my career because I was going from a very unstructured environment to a structured environment. And it took me probably 3 years to figure that out. I got off for administrative separation, and I went in and talked to the commander. I don't know why he decided to keep me in, because I've been on the opposite end of that as an advisor to a commander, and I had plenty for him to say, go on back to Chicago, but he didn't give up on me. Man. And 21 years later, you know, I'm sitting here about to go to the numbered Air Force level as a command chief, and I'm just extremely grateful for that. Now, I tell that story just because it's not how you start, it's how you end. Not in a million years that I think I would be here. It's a lot that comes along to getting here. You know, you gotta have your experiences, and you gotta be willing to learn. You gotta roll with the punches at times, and it's just been a beautiful thing.
Man, come on, man. Man, let me tell you, I don't know who needed to hear that, but when he told me that story, trust me, there's more layers to that story.
There's a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers to that story, but I'm gonna add something to that. Don't always look for your savior in yourself. You know, don't be afraid to accept help from someone who don't always look like you. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I think whoever hear that understand exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so enough of that.
And then help. I was just talking about this the other day, because mental health. Like when you talk about mental health, and you talk about, you know, young black men in the community, you grow up bottling things in, and mental health is like exercise. It's just like working out.
Yes.
Like you gotta continuously like exercise it and do those things. And a lot of us was taught to keep things bottled up. And I didn't learn that till probably I was a young NCO, that it's okay to open up and talk to people and not keep things in. And that definitely helps you out. So help, when you need help, definitely go out there and get some help.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, that is so key. And sometimes we don't even realize that we need help. I'm gonna use this moment to talk about something that I haven't talked about before. You know, it's outside of a counseling environment. You know, and you inspired me to do this. And I'm not gonna get too deep, but the bottom line is, I realized that I had a problem, and I suppressed it. I bottled it up and I kept it in for a long time, and I thought I was dealing with it because I had outlets of X, Y, and Z. And it wasn't until those X, Y, and Z no longer existed that I realized that I had a problem. Here it is, you know, I was Special Forces back in 2007, from 2005 to 2007, working in that environment. And here it is, 2019, I exploded and almost hurt somebody, and didn't realize where it was coming from. And it wasn't until I sought counseling to realize that I had been dealing with that the wrong way. And I'm cutting out a lot of layers because I'm still not ready to indulge all of it. But the bottom line is, I went and sought help, and in that seeking help, I realized that I was doing things wrong, and that I needed to open up and release that out. And in that, I learned that it's not a weakness. It's not a weakness. Some of the strongest men I know have been through counseling, and they, you know, whether they wanted to share that story or not, that was on them. But I realized that, hey, this is what I needed for me to continue to move on and be a benefit to somebody else. So,
and that is powerful. You don't understand how powerful that is for yourself, and more importantly, for others. That's why we're doing this. We do this to help people out there. And it's just like when I go back to the community, I go back to the inner cities, it's just, we need to do that more. We need to hug our children more. We need to ask them more, like, tell me what's wrong, tell me what's on your mind, and be able to have that dialogue and be able to say that it's okay to be vulnerable. So you don't have to be, you know, at like them went through life, like as long as you have before you come to that revelation that you know it's okay to be able to do that. And I've done it several times in my career. When I was a young tech sergeant, trying to find my way. I was adjusting to a new career field. I was a defender, and I was adjusting to being battle management control, very high technical career field. So I'm deployed. I'm adjusting to that career field. I'm going through marital problems with me and my wife. We're going through marital problems. My mom, God rest her soul, she's got stage 4 lung cancer. And I'm dealing with all of that. And finally, I got a supervisor that saw that I had lost about 15 pounds. And he was like, you gotta go talk to somebody.
Wow.
He's like, I'm not asking you. And then he was like, you can pick whichever one you want. You got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. I decided to go talk to the chaplain because I was always taught as an NCO, like, you know, whatever they tell you, got to stay in house. And I was an extremely private person. And I went and I talked to the chaplain, and it wasn't a lot of, the conversation wasn't revolved around a lot of spirituality. It was just like, they would just listen.
Right.
And that's all I needed. I need someone to listen without judgment. And I did that. And since that moment, for me, like, it's amazing that my career kind of took off at that point.
Right.
And also, I just made it a habit to get things off my chest and vent, whether that's through clinical psychiatrists or whether that's through social workers, like it depends.
And you know, and I think it is, you said something that was powerful right there. Just like after you sought that help and you started to open up, things started lifting up for you, man. So sometimes we gotta shed that burden, man. Take that off of us, man.
And I can never really prove, because I start to reflect on the 23 years that I've been in the United States Air Force. When I start to reflect and I look back on when I was willing to, you know, ask for help and had the courage to do it, I became more comfortable on my own skin, which made everyone else around me more comfortable, which started to develop those inroads and those relationships, and just me tapping into the potential that I had. And here we are.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man. I can't express enough the power of being able to open up and share and release that, so that you can be the best you. You know, they say forgiveness, you can't receive your blessings until you forgive someone, and sometimes the forgiving has to be done within ourselves. You know,
speak on it,
man. So and we overlook that, and plus us being men, and I'm speaking specifically to the men, we have a tendency to internalize a lot of stuff, especially, and I'll say brothers, because you know, especially the way you, I'm from the hood in Tallahassee, you know, and I know you, in your story, you know, hey, we fall down, get up. Ain't got time for all that crying. Shake it off, go step up and be a man. And that was the thing. Are you a man? Are you whatever the word they wanted to use back then at that particular time? But you wasn't no time for no hugging.
No.
With none of that. No, you shook it off and you got up. You know, so when you mentioned that, man, it let me know that I know one of the things that, especially with our kids today, man, because it's just a different time, different environment. I make sure that I go out of my way to make sure I hug specifically my son.
Yes.
You know, I mean, because my daughter gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, that's my baby girl. She gonna get it regardless. But I make sure that my son gets it as well, because he needs that. Because one thing I'm learning over the years throughout my military career, just in life, if we don't show young men love, they're gonna find it somewhere.
Exactly.
And it's not always positive.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And here's the evolution of you as a person. And for everyone out there, they really got to understand, like, you need to show love to your son. Yeah. You need to be able to create an environment where they can share their thoughts and feelings with you. Yeah. And if you don't, because I've been on the wrong side of this, if you don't, then your son is going to go get it from somewhere else, and you want him to come to you.
Come on.
Whether you go to Princeton or whether you go to prison, I want you to come talk to me first.
Come on, man.
But that starts like in the beginning. Like in the beginning, when they fall down, you know, you pick them up, you ask them, are they okay, and stuff like that. And that's what I have learned.
Yeah.
You know, and evolving as a person. I've never had that problem with my baby girls.
Yeah,
I've never had that problem with my baby girls.
And it's ironic, man, because I think as men, we provide and protect for our females, but we don't do that for our boys. You know what I'm saying? But we need to. We need to do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking on all fathers, because there's some great fathers out there that's already doing that. But I'm gonna be honest. I had to learn it. I had to learn it. I grew up under tough love. And I'm saying there's nothing wrong with tough love. Trust me. They kept me and my brothers out of prison. But like I said, it's a different time, different generation. And you know, I can't be gunny and drill sergeant so-and-so on my sons. Hey, I gotta show them that love too. It can't just be mama giving them hugs all the time. So that's important, man.
Yeah.
You dropped a lot of game with that, man. So yeah, I'm hoping y'all getting that too, because Lord knows I got it.
We gonna do it. We gonna do it, man. We gonna do it, man.
So you said you're getting ready to roll out, getting ready to head out.
Yeah.
So what's the future looking like for you?
So like in the Command Chief business, you know, so my first gig was at Kunsan Air Base in Korea, which was about 2,800 people.
Right.
Talked to Brigadier General Eglin. He decided to bring me up here with him to Japan. And, you know, we had about 8,000 people here, but then we throw in the families and everybody else associated with who we provide support to. It's about 23,000 people. And I've been here for about a year and a half, about a month longer than a year and a half. And what's next is I'll be going out to Louisiana to Barksdale Air Force Base, where I'll be at the 2-star level advising the 8th Air Force's commander and be the command chief there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm super excited about it because
for you, man.
I'm excited because I'm really coming in with an open mind. I'm coming in with an open mind. I'm coming in, you know, hey, I might want to go walk away at some point and try the industry out and do cool things like you doing right now. You know? Or I might seriously consider this Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force thing.
Hey, man, I'm tell you.
And I actually had a previous Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force tell me I got a chance. And that was like mind-boggling to me when I think about the kid that was just old knucklehead airman that just couldn't stop staying out of trouble and couldn't stay out of the commander's office. Like going from that to where I am now, Big said never in a million years that I think I'd be here. Like doing that. So I'm forever grateful. I stay prayed up. I thank everyone for pouring into me. And what I want to do in return is for the ones that poured into me, I just want to give it back. And whenever I wake up and I feel like I'm done inspiring people, whenever that day comes, if it comes, that's when I'm going to walk away. As long as I wake up every day and I feel like it's someone out there that can maybe hear my story or just see me in action and see how I move, and they want to bring some more positivity to their life, I'm going to keep doing it.
Man, that is amazing, man. And I think regardless of whether you're doing it in the Air Force capacity or the civilian sector, you're going to always be a motivator, man. I just feel that in my spirit about you, man.
Sure.
You're going to always be able to influence and motivate people regardless. So Godspeed with all of your future endeavors, and I know it's going to be successful, man. If that's the move you decide to make, blessings, you know, you got everybody's backing and support for you, man. We love it, and
I'm at peace with it either way. That's the blessing of where I am in my life. Like, I'm totally at peace with it. You know, like, so the Command Chief business is very competitive. And my wife even told me when I went through this last nomination process, she's like, it's a calm about you that I've never seen before. And I was like, I'm good, babe. Like, I'm cool with it. Like, God got a plan for me, and I'm cool. And I'm cool. And I'll be honest with you, I've never felt like that before, because I've always been hungry. I've always, I've wanted it. And for the first time in my life, I was just totally at peace with everything that was going on. And I talked to some of my other friends, some of my other peers out there that's going through the same process, and they was feeling how I used to feel. And now I'm just totally at peace with it, because I'm good either way. And that's even now moving forward.
Man, you're doing it, man. That's amazing, man. Man, I hope. And are y'all feeling this? Are y'all getting this? Because I am, man. So, man, once again, man, I'm loving it, man. So, you're getting ready to roll out.
Yeah.
Command Chief. Man, I'm trying to. I don't want to backtrack too deep.
Yeah.
Go back, man.
We can go back as deep as we want. We can go all the way there.
Oh, man. All right. So, one of the things that we talked about, you know, we talked about legacy.
Yes.
So, and that's huge. That's something that I want to kind of focus on a little bit more, and I'm slowly pulling my children into it, man. In our conversations, man, one of the things that I remember saying that, you know, everybody in the Rockefeller family understood who their grandfather was, their great-grandfathers. They can go back 5, 6, 7 generations. The simple fact that their generations before them left something for them to move forward and continue to build on.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something that we have to put more emphasis on. And so it is important to me to let my children see that, hey, I'm not just your parent telling you to go to school, do your best, because that's my role. I want you to see that, hey, this is necessary. I'm not telling you to do nothing that I didn't do. And I want you to know that, hey, this isn't just for you. I'm thinking for your children and your children's children. So every move that I make, it ain't just about me. I'm enjoying life. I'm being comfortable. We live a good, comfortable life. But I want them to know that it don't just stop there. You know what I'm saying? So I try to incorporate that in everything. As far as their education, they see that mom and daddy's knocking out their education. Daddy's got a master's degree. Mommy's about to be finished with her master's degree. No one's stagnant here. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things I was talking with Chuck about, man, I'm about to add them two rascals to my LLC so that they can be part of the business at a young age. Do you remember that story I told you about the guy who was following this group of kids in New York and went to that bank? Man, and I thought that was so powerful. I said, because I don't think we do enough of that. So I took mine. I took them to Navy Federal, walked them through the whole process, made them open up an account, let them see that whole process, got them a CD, got them open them an account so they don't have a bar mitzvah, but they can see that, hey, it's never too late. It's never too soon to get started. So I want them to understand that. So I'm trying to embed that into their psyche now.
When you start to peel the onion back on legacy, when you start to peel the onion back, it took how many years for Big Said to start to envision legacy, coming from where you come from. And I think, again, when you go back to the community, like grandpa and great-grandpa, if you know who they were, a lot of us don't, but if you do, they was in survival mode.
Right.
They was in survival mode, a lot of broken homes and things like that, and you can't leave a legacy.
Right.
And as we evolve, as you transition, and as we motivate people, like if not for anything else, you want to get out of the neighborhood and you want to be able to do things you want to do, is to establish that legacy.
Right.
To establish that legacy so you can have something that you can build on and you can see how other communities do it. And then you can kind of build on that, and it's just building blocks. Continue to build and continue to build. And I talk to my children; they all on some like different paths. I got my oldest right now. He's in the Air Force. So me and his mom 100% didn't want him to do that. But probably proudest moment of my career when you talk about legacy. We wanted him to go to college.
Right.
And we had paid for him to go to college. We got some things set up for him. He said, Dad, I want to join the Air Force. I'm like, why? And he was like, because you happy, Dad. Like, I want to do what you do. You happy. Proudest moment of my career, the most successful thing I've ever done in my career is when my little man said, I want to do what you do. Despite me telling him, I didn't want him to do it.
Man.
And now he's in Germany doing his thing. My 17-year-old daughter, 4.0 student, she's doing great in school.
Come on.
And my youngest daughter, she's probably gonna be some fashion designer or something out there. She's very artistic with everything she does. And the crazy thing about us having that conversation the other day is, like, subconsciously, I was really thinking about like my legacy and the legacy of the Woods family. But I went home and I was like, man, I gotta get a little bit more deliberate about the legacy piece. Like, not just like being deliberate, like having a plan almost with the same effort that I have in terms of my professional career. Because in my professional career, I'm always thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. And with the legacy, I gotta start doing that. And you all was laying it out, like the platform of like what y'all doing.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I soaked up $1 million worth of game that night. Even for me, I soaked up $1 million worth of game, and I definitely want to establish a legacy for my family moving forward.
I think that is so important, man, because I think the way, like we said, it's a different time. And I heard something, I think I mentioned it that night. It's like, you know, the legacy that I know my grandparents left to me was their work ethic.
Right.
They were hard workers, and they worked real hard, and they worked a lot of jobs. And I'm like, okay, that work ethic is in me. I want to pass that on to my kids. But then I heard something else that was so powerful in another podcast where the individual said, and it was a young lady said this. She says, regardless of how hard you work, no matter how many jobs you have, you will never work as hard as your money. So we have to make good money moves, good wise decisions. So part of that legacy is one, teaching that financial, giving my kids that financial understanding so they can make good money decisions. Because regardless of how great their education may be that we're trying to provide for them, and regardless of how great a job, they got to be able to be financially wise.
Just teaching them earlier, though, in their lives, like teaching them earlier that, you know, a good stock or a bond or a good pouring into yourself early in your career is way better than some piece of metal on your neck.
Come on.
Or some Jordans on your feet. Even though I'm swagged out with mine right now, but I earned the bread first, then I grabbed.
There you go.
You know, but just letting them know it's value in that. I remember when I was like a senior airman. I had like 70 pair of Jordans, bro. I had like 70 pair of Jordans. And I just looked in the closet like, why?
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, I know why. I remember when you was in grade school, you told me that, you know, you was playing basketball and you had holes in your shoes and people were like teasing you and stuff like that. And this was kind of your coping mechanism with that trauma that you dealt with. Like, as soon as you got like money, I was looking at it and I was just looking at it like, if I translate all of this into like building something for the future, because I could do nothing with them shoes. I ended up giving half of them to my son, but I couldn't do nothing with them. But I wish like earlier in my life, like someone would instill some of those tools in me, and then you can invest, you can get yourself right, and then you can get yourself some nice things when you get it right. But you want to get yourself right for the future first. But a lot of people that come from the community I come from want to look or feel like something that's not really true. It's just a facade, and it's not really true. And we got to get out of that mindset. Do what you got to do to get by and focus on your future.
Man, walking around looking rich and living poor. Come on. Yeah, man.
Keeping up with the Joneses is what my people used to always do.
It's a dilemma and it's a problem. And I like to think that, you know, my kids understand that right now my kids not really big into that type of stuff. You know, they like nice things, don't get me wrong, you know, but I'd rather them to say, hey, you know, anytime they get a little bit of bread, I'd be like, okay, you got $50, what you gonna do? You got a CD that has compound interest, you got a savings account that has compound interest. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, I want you to make a decision. All right, well, I'll put $20 in my account. I'm like, okay, I like that. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with it. It's on you, you know.
It starts that early though.
Yeah.
That goes back to my point. Like, it starts that early, but I love this legacy thing. So when you really peel that onion back on that legacy, where we are versus where we came from. You know, hardworking parents that's just living check to check, trying to survive. They was never taught, you know, I got 20 bucks. I'm gonna keep 19, I'm gonna store $1 away. Store $1 away. I'm gonna keep storing $1 away. And that dollar's gonna work super hard to double and quadruple and go from there. And we got to do more teaching with that.
Man, you know, and it starts with just regular conversations, man. I think when they see us, one thing about kids, man, they emulate that which they are around. So when they see mommy, they see daddy doing it, they see if I'm in a social group and our conversations revolve around that type of stuff, legacy, financial management, being good husbands, being good fathers. When they hear these are normal conversations that they're around, it just becomes second nature to them.
Second nature.
Because I grew up in an environment where, you know, my uncle and them was playing dominoes, spades, and cards. You know, there's a whole lot of conversation, but it didn't involve legacy, and it wasn't about no financial management or nothing like that.
No.
You know? So, yeah, man. So I think we on the right path, man. Let me say, you know, we spit a lot of knowledge, man, but we soak up a lot of knowledge as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like being in the company of good people because, you know, like I said, man, a lot of times you'll see me, I'll be sitting back and won't say nothing. As big as I am, as loud as I can be, I'll be quiet because I'm absorbed. You know, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So, but when I do speak on it, hey, I'm passionate about it, and I'm gonna speak on it because I understand. I speak with a sense of urgency for a reason because I want people to understand that, hey, you know, we don't know how many heartbeats you got. We don't know how long we're gonna be here. So we need to act on that thing and make it happen. So when it's time to listen, I listen. But when it's time to speak, man, I've been given this, call it what you want, get the gab or whatever, for a reason. And so if I don't use it, you can definitely lose it. So I'm gonna take advantage of it, man. So
gotta use it. You know, one thing that I like about you is your personality is very welcoming. You know, so like when I first saw you, like it was just a super cool cat, funny. You know, like everything ain't gotta be serious all the time. You know, we gonna have some fun. We gonna chill out. We gonna talk about some very important things that's affecting our communities, and we're gonna continue to share that because we want everybody to win. Like I want to see everybody win.
So, man, I'm telling you, man. So, regardless of where you in Barksdale or whatever, we got to keep in contact.
We gonna stay in contact.
Because one of the things that I'm trying to, like, as I learn, I'm still a baby in this game, and I'm trying to, you know, do the whole Zoom thing. So I'm gonna be expecting me to reach out to you. You know, it'll be like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on me, but I'm woke. I'm like, look, we need to chop it up. We're gonna discuss this, man. So, man, it's just been an honor to have you here, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, but man, before we wrap this up, man, open up that little armchair on that little side there for you, man. Reach in there, grab that bag out.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a little something, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
We gonna edit it up, man. We gonna edit it up. We gonna get this on the air, man. But hey, yeah, that's from me to you, man. I want you to have something to remember Big Says conversation with, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is dope right here. Man, I should have rocked this, man, when we was going. You know?
Yeah, this is the limited, man. There was only X amount of those made. We won't make no more of this model. Then we're gonna come up with a new version, this summer, man. So, yeah.
Hey, so if y'all want to be shining out there, I'm telling you, Big Sass Conversations, man. That's where the money is at. Real talk with real people.
Yeah, man.
And doing it the right way from a brother whose heart really wants to give back. It's not enough of that. To me, enough people out there like that. And that's why I like surrounding myself around people like that, because again, that's my why.
Yeah.
That's my why.
Come on, man.
And that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It ain't because like you get treated special and you get a cool parking spot, like, and all that stuff. Nah.
Yeah.
Like every time like one of these young brothers come up to me and just say, man, just thank you for representing in the right way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm addicted to like hearing that.
Bro, I'm telling you, my why gets bigger all the time. Every time I turn around, when I wake up in the morning and I kiss my wife before she leaves, or I go to work, or when I hear my kids say, Daddy, or whatever, knowing I'm the one they go to, I got their back no matter what. Or when I hear a young brother say, hey man, I heard what you said about opening an account and start saving this and investing in that. I got started, man. I can't wait for the next step. All right, I got you. So my why is all the time, I got to stay on point. my thing, I'm a big cat. I can't hide nowhere I go. I stand out. So one, my steps have to be on point. I can't be out here with a whole lot of shenanigans and move around. That's why I navigate the way I navigate. That's why I'm around who I'm around, because people are always looking up. But they also people standing by waiting for you to fall.
They are.
So
They do.
with that being said, man, hey, if I fall, I'm gonna fall on the shoulders of greatness. You know what I'm saying?
They there. I'm very mindful of it on my end as well, like, because everybody don't want to see you win.
Come on, man.
Everybody don't want to see you win. A lot of them do, but everybody don't want to see you win or feel like they can do it better or something like that. And it don't gotta be like that. But I want what you to do to continue to evolve, because one of my big takeaways from last weekend when we was chilling is I got a lot of people that need to hear what you talking about. Especially at Kadena Air Base, where we have a lot of airmen that have very similar backgrounds to you, and it's some credibility that come along with I did what you did. Like instant credibility, you know, and I can do it, you know, as a battle management controller. Y'all's talking to pilots, but I wasn't really out there, you know, like that, and they'll listen to a little bit. So I hope as you continue to grow the podcast and grow like your reach, we can get you over there. And
hey man, I'm available whenever, man. So my thing is, hey, you know, one of the things I learned in in my management class, I'm a servant leader, man. So I'm not gonna do whatever you need. Big says there. Period.
That's what I'm talking about.
Period. Dot. Man.
That's what I'm
Period.
talking about.
Dot. Say less, man. I'm at that point now. That's part of my counseling. That's part of my healing, because I can't. The Lord didn't bring me through all of that for nothing.
Right.
So everything that I endured and went through, and I'm here to share to them that, hey, it's not impossible, and you ain't got to try and do this by yourself. As long as you may think you are physically and or mentally, we all need help. So we can make this happen, man. But man, I just want to thank you again for coming through and chopping it up, man. Before we close, man, you got any closing words you want to share with everybody, man?
Yeah, I just wanna tell everyone, as you go on your journey, whatever journey you decide to go on, whatever you decide to do, I got a few tips that I like to give everyone that I've learned over the course of my career that's really helped me transition from the little scrawny kid from the neighborhood. Parents had some challenges to where I am now. First thing I would tell them, be yourself. The hardest thing in the world is to be something you're not. The easiest thing in the world is to be yourself. But being yourself starts with knowing yourself. So you always gotta go on a journey to understand who you are, because you're going to evolve, you're going to change. You gotta constantly go on a journey to know who you are, know the type of person that you want to be, the type of person that you are, where your moral compass is at. For the uniform wearers out there, that last name that's on your uniform, like what does that revolve around? Be yourself. For me, it took me 6 years to really just walk out and attack the world in my truest form. That's why I love the moniker Keep It 100. A lot of people don't understand, like for me, like keeping it 100 and being myself has really been a big part of what I do. Always focus on what you can't control. You in control of your attitude, your actions, your effort, your willingness to be coachable. Don't focus on things you can't control, which is the thoughts and opinions of others, your environment, adversity, and when it happens, you control how you respond to it, but you don't control like when adversity happens. Matter of fact, it typically happens at the worst time. Not when you're ready for it. It typically happens at the worst time. And then when I think about legacy, I've talked a lot about legacy like with my family, but when I think about legacy for my career and anyone that else is out there that's thinking about the legacy that you're going to leave, it's not going to be defined by the promotions you have or the money you got in your pocket or all of the things that you achieve. I truly feel legacy comes from how you've changed people's lives in a positive way and how they feel about you. That's going to define your legacy. So that's what I always look at, you know, when I look at Kadena Air Base, where I'm gonna miss it a lot. I hear all the time that I've left a positive impact on people, and that's what I hold my head high the most about, and I did it with my family. I'm doing it representing us.
Yes.
And I do not take that lightly, and I am proud to represent, because representation is important. People need to see people like us doing our thing. So thanks, Big Sad. I really do appreciate it. I do this whenever you got it. You got a open kitchen pass with me in terms of getting on your platform, because I truly do believe in what you're doing and what you stand for. You definitely got an advocate in me, and I 100% appreciate you, big bro.
Come on, bro.
Thank you.
Say less, man.
Thank you.
Once again, man, hey, honored to have you here. Thank you for being here. That's going to wrap it up for another episode of Big Says Conversation. Please like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more information, man. Peace. It's just like that, bro.
Running, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off.